Hello Tarot Rebels and welcome to today's video. Long time no see, apparently. So I've been away from YouTube for quite some time now, recharging, gathering my thoughts, but now I'm back with opinions as usual. I do have a new setup, so please excuse if you see any shadows, that's my setup there. If you've never been here before, hi, I'm Michaela from Tarot Rebel, and I'm super happy to see you joining us today. Today I'm participating in the deck crush tag that's been circulating on YouTube right now. This tag has been created by 4 of the most prominent people on TarotTube, like Lisa Papez, Don Michelle, Dan Mystic, and Merlin Theresa. If you want to check their videos, I'll leave them in the description box down below, as well as in the comments. If there's I'm not sure if I'm allowed to, but I'll check. So you'll find the links there, as well as the prompts and whatever other information is relevant. I'll try and keep it briefer than usual. So if you have any thoughts and opinions about my choices, my deck selection, feel free to leave a comment, like this video, share it with your friends, whatever, you know the drill. And without further ado, let's get into this. So the prompts are the Fling, the deck with which you had a short period of wild times. I've had initially 3 decks on this list. The third one is in my rehoming pile. So first of all, this Killstar deck, which I got on a whim. I was trying to order something a bit more, I don't know, creepy, I guess, even though I have loads of decks in that area. But I ordered this deck. Now I've seen there's a new edition, red and black, instead of this holographic color. I hope you can see. Yeah, so I used it for a brief short time in October last year, and it was such a fun deck to use. Like, everyone was like, oh my god, are these skeletons? Yeah, ooh, that's so cool, that's so fun. Oh, it's Halloween, ooh. So I guess everyone liked it for that specific purpose, but it's quite a big deck. Like, it's difficult to shuffle, it's not the nicest card stock, but I'm not upset by it. I think it's a nice solid deck based on Rider-Waite mythology. The other deck is the Psychic Tarot, and I think I mentioned this deck before. It was like a love-hate relationship with it. I mainly use it for chakra work. I use it as a tarot deck, not as an oracle deck, even though the title says Psychic Tarot Oracle deck. So it's kind of like, you do as you please. I do like this deck, but I've used it weekly for a year and a half, and then suddenly I stopped. I still think about it, but I'm not drawn to work with it anymore. I honestly, because I got it secondhand, I'm not upset by the fact that I'm not using it anymore. It's very shiny, cardstock is not that great, but I think in terms of self-discovery, that's a good deck. The other deck I was meant to add to this pile, basically, was the Hush Tarot, which, as I said, it's in my rehoming pile. I haven't decided yet if I want to sell it, donate it, whatever. So that's about it. That's my Fling. Next prompt, Puppy Love, a deck with which you were infatuated but couldn't make long-term commitment to. So I have 2 decks here, 2 decks and 3 piles. First off, we have the Stella Tarot. I love the artwork. That's a given. It's still in order because I flipped through it and it's probably what I wish Nicoletta Ciccoli would be for me, or what Paulina Decks would be for me. Why I don't use this? Because I do like the artwork more. It's very whimsical, very quirky, very colorful. The palette is really nice. I do like the borders. I know some people dislike the borders. I really like them. I love this devil card. I love this tower card, the star card. Yeah. Really, this is one deck that should be up my alley. Why I don't use it? Because I have the Dreaming Way Tarot, the fantastical tarot, a few other quirky decks, and it's like this deck has been relegated to collection deck more than anything else. It's not working deck for me. Anyway, second deck is everyone's favorite Tarot Volatile. You know how to say it. Well, first of all, I hate this box. I got the expansion, so that's good, I guess. Everything is still in order. I've never used this deck. I was like, oh, I need to use it. I studied it. I guess it's too much happening, too much customization, too many options in terms of cards, and thinking about it, maybe that's the best thing. It forces you to be mindful of your tarot tools. I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. I like the artwork, but I have similar decks. I have the Art Revival. I have the, what's the other one? Majestic Earth. I don't really need this one. And to be fair, it's very biblical and very like tormented, especially the devil. Oh, it's, yeah. Anyway, that's my other puppy love. I feel like there will be a day when I will be using this deck. That day is not today, sadly. The quality is good for an indie deck. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that I can reopen this box because it's very flimsy, very, as you can see, yeah, not happy about that. But, and this is the expansion. I regret getting the expansion, again for the same reasons. I realized that I don't want an extra suit. I don't want 3 devils. I don't want 2 empresses. It's just not for me. I know other people prefer to have a variety and to be able to substitute whatever cards they want. That's not me. And I think Tarot Volatile, whatever, was a cheap enough lesson to learn in that respect, because I think I paid like £70 to have it delivered. I've got the deck and the expansion to have it delivered in the UK, and I think the deck is produced in Poland, but don't quote me on that. Okay, next on the list, Friends with Benefits, a deck you care about but sometimes get extremely passionate for. This was once my soul deck, the Margaret Peterson, and the next deck will explain exactly why I stopped using the Margaret Peterson. However, I love the Margaret Peterson. I still go back to it when I'm feeling experimental. As you can see, these pictures, these cards, they follow traditional tarot, but the images are more meant to be read intuitively. Yeah, I love this trial for the Hangman. I love this death card. But yeah, I feel like I sometimes go back to this deck because it's still part of who I am as a reader. But I found a better solution because I used this deck when I was tormented, I guess, when I lacked structure, and this deck spoke to that chaos. And now, as I said, I have something better, which is the Japanese Tarot. So this is the Love at First Sight prompt, a deck I loved from the start. To be fair, this deck didn't come to me until I finished working with Margaret Peterson in all its chaotic glory. Why do I say that? This deck is quite old. I think it was released in 2014, right? Based on the box. I've known of it for such a long time. I just didn't care about it. But one day I was hit. I need to have this deck. And I purchased it, and I think I'm gonna try and remember to add the card and somewhere here, because this deck is basically the Margaret Peterson, similar color palette, similar intention for me, but in a more organized way. And if you see my my comparison video, you'll understand why I feel this way. Obviously, you might feel different. You might say, "What are you talking about? This is complete bollocks. It doesn't work like that. They don't look the same." But I was actually showing it to. Oh my! I managed to ruin the box. I was showing it to someone who doesn't know anything about tarot, and I was like, look, is it me or these two decks kind of speak the same language, but for one of them, sorry, I kicked my camera, for one of them you have the translation, which is the Japanese Tarot, and for the other one you kind of like go with it. And they were like, yeah, kind of see what you mean. So yeah, I hope it's not just me, but even if it is, as long as it works for me, why not? Right. Next prompt we have, oh Lord, the One Night Stand, a deck you tried out but moved on from almost immediately. Sometimes you still think of that deck. I have 3 of them, but actually only 2 on camera. The White Newman and the Cosmic Slumber from Liminal 11. There's something about these decks. I know people love them. They have multiple decks, very successful. They have that Seed and Sickle Oracle that everyone loves. Personally, I dislike these decks for different reasons. I dislike the White Newman because the cardstock is very difficult to shuffle, very glossy, very sticky. Artwork is kind of comical in a way. I don't know what I was thinking. And also because of this gilding, because I got the special edition because I wanted to be special. Yeah, I used it a few times. I tried to use it. Sometimes it works for others. It's just not for me. It just sits there, unused, untouched. One night stand. That's it. The other deck is the Cosmic Slumber, obviously, which is a standard edition. I don't think this deck came in a different way. I dislike both types of boxes like this. The cardstock is, I guess this one's slightly better. I just dislike the artwork in this. It's very, like, if I want something childish, I have the Dreaming Way Tarot, I have the Stella Tarot, I have, I don't know, so many other beautiful decks. I don't need this deck. The books have errors, spelling errors and stuff. The boxes are clunky to navigate. I know people use them and put the decks in bags and stuff like that. Not my thing. Up to you, obviously, if that's what you want, but not for me, either of them. The other deck would be Okash and Thorn, and it was like, I lusted after it. I ordered it, I got it, and I was like, underwhelming. And I basically ghosted that deck, which is kind of hilarious because everyone loves a good animal deck. Yeah, it's in my rehoming pile again, and all of that lives in the cellar, and I'm not gonna go get them because it's too much faff. Cool. Now, we were on a break. A deck you separated from for any reason. Again, I have multiple decks. I'm sorry. Clearly, I'm rethinking my strategy in terms of tarot. So first of all, I have the Star Tarot. I couldn't tell you why we stopped working together, because this deck, as soon as I pick it up, oh, this reminds me of Tarot Renard. I don't have that deck, it just reminds me of it. As soon as I pick this up, it's instant hit. There's nothing that this deck cannot handle in terms of me, in terms of situations, in terms of the questions. It's just so creatively well made. The colors are very soothing for me, and it's like, I don't know, it just works. It just works. Sometimes I don't use it. I used to use it a lot more, but obviously now I have a bigger collection, more than ever, which needs to stop. Yeah. Next, I mentioned this deck a few times now. The Dreaming Way Tarot. This is one of my favorite decks. I'm not using it now because it just doesn't feel right for winter, and it's February here in the UK. Kind of reminds me of the Little Prince Tarot, which I have a copy of, and then I realized that the person that gifted me the copy bought a fake one. So kind of like, I don't want to use it, but at the same time, the Dreaming Way Tarot is such a nice deck, such a love. I think I have a walkthrough of this. If you want to hear my uneducated opinion, you can definitely go watch that video. Yeah, I just love this deck. One of my favorite, Queen of Pentacles. She's one of my favorite cards ever. We're currently on a break because I just don't feel like the weather lends itself to reading with this deck, but as soon as I pick this up, and I do tend to pick it up like randomly, instant hit. The other deck I have on this list is the New Immortals Tarot. This was Kickstarter deck. I have a video walkthrough of it. Oh, stop, I ruined my wings. Feathers. It's a linen cardstock. I think I paid £40 in total with shipping included, so that's a really good price. And sometimes I get messages on YouTube on my walkthrough video, where can I buy this from? And I'm like, I'm sorry guys, out of print. If the artist decides to make another printing of it, then definitely recommend you getting this. Some people say it's not good for beginners. I think it's perfectly fine if you have like at least an inkling of what you're looking for. The only downside is that this deck doesn't have a guidebook. There was like a A3 paper, folded paper. I don't remember what it included. I tossed it away as soon as I got it. There are some extra cards based on the 9 Muses. Never used them. So yeah, solid reader for me. As soon as I touch it, it's like not a day has passed since last time I used it. It's just solid reader altogether. If you have a chance to get it, definitely get this. If not, regret it forever. Okay, marriage material. Unexpected. We have the Moriel, the Situationship, and the Aquarian Tarot. All three decks you've seen on my channel, if you watch my channel, or anywhere on YouTube, I guess. If you've seen them, you know them. I have the Moriel 2nd edition here, but I also have the first one. Sits up on the shelf, so where am I showing it? There, up on the shelf. I'm trying to point in that direction, yes. This is a loving, trusted, steady deck. Love this deck. There are some ding-dongs flying around, some tatas. If you're not comfortable with nudity, don't get this deck. I personally have no problem. I think reading the guidebook is more important than anything in understanding this deck. Again, every time I use this deck, it's a solid read, but I only use it for myself. That's the problem. This is my favorite Nine of Pentacles. I don't use this deck for anyone else but me. That's selfish. I feel like there's a special relationship that we managed to build here, me and the deck. I feel like there's so much unspoken truth, if I'm explaining it correctly, and feeling behind this deck. I would feel odd reading for someone else with it. I don't know. Hope it makes sense. The other deck, the Situationship Tarot. This is my mother tarot, because first of all I connect with this deck through my mother, who passed away a few years ago. And when I read for others, it's perfect for people to have a troubled relationship with their mothers or with themselves. It's such a nice, gentle deck. It doesn't shy away from highlighting negative aspects of ourselves. There's 5 of Wands follows me. It's my stalker card, as usual. A lovely Queen of Pentacles, lovely Fool, lovely Page of Cups. Yeah, all in all, solid reader, marriage material. This deck has proven its value time and time again. I read, this copy is my my copy that I use for clients. I have another copy that I use for myself, mainly because there's a card I associate with my mom, the 5 of Wands, and it looks slightly different in that copy I have. The other deck is the Aquarian Tarot. This deck I have multiple copies of. As you can see, it's like slightly worn. I tried to get a newer copy of it. It just doesn't feel like that. So I keep buying the 1970s copies that I have plenty of. I should stop buying them. Again, when I use this deck, no punches whatsoever. If it's for me, instant truth. If it's for someone else, for a client, for a friend, instant hit true. It's difficult to deal with the messages sometimes because it's very upfront when you have to do something, but it is what it is. So, last but not least, happily ever after, your true love in a deck. And I'm using this copy of my White Sage Tarot. This is my collection copy from, this is the indie edition, not the tiny one in a tin. As you can see, I still have wrappers from the person that sold me the deck. In all honesty, buying the indie copy was not my best choice in life. Why? Because the artwork feels a bit like zoomed in, zoomed out, I don't know, resized for this size of cards, whereas the US Games in a tin version, that works better for me, I guess. I still want to keep this for the sake of it. It's a lovely deck. I can read for anyone with it, anyone, no problem. It's like, I remember I was reading for someone and I didn't know they were pregnant, and I said, "Are you pregnant?" And she was like, yeah, I'm pregnant. And I was like, the relationship with your partner is really beautiful, because I pulled the Lover's card. It's like, he wishes he could help you more with the physical symptoms. And she was like, he said the exact same thing this morning. He wishes he could take on my symptoms so that I would suffer less, just like the seahorse male does. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, interesting. Yeah, another deck I suggest using for chakra work. It's very good for that. If you're struggling with incorporating that in your tarot readings, definitely use this deck. These were all the prompts in the original tag, but because I haven't filmed in a while, I'm feeling compelled to add a few more tags, just because I have a few decks that are important to me, but in very different ways. So, Situationship, a deck you're not particularly fond of, but it's always a solid reader, and for me that's the Muse Tarot. I personally, I don't know why I got this deck. For the longest of time I resisted this deck. I now come to love it and appreciate, but I still don't read for myself with it. I feel like this is a deck I ignore for myself, but when I read for other people, it's perfect. It's just like finds the issue instantly. I don't have to dig around to get a solid understanding of what my client needs. So I just use this deck, boom, done, sorted, and then we can delve into that. But yeah, I'm not particularly fond of it, but as I said, a solid reader going through. Next prompt is the Netflix and chill, a deck that I don't use for in-depth readings, and it's like my oh my, please exit the bag. The Madame Lydia Wilhelmina Tarot of Monsters, the Macabre and Autumn Scenes. First of all, the quality of the boxes and the quality of this organza bag, absolute filth. I'm so upset by this, and the amount of money I paid for this deck to come from the USA is insane. Second of all, this is just the title card. It's still in order because this deck is so flimsy and so trashy. I used it probably once or twice with my friends when we were like tiny bit tipsy. It's just like, it's fun. It does look fun. Do I want to use it? No. Would I use this for like a tarot party where people want to have fun and get spooked? Yeah, but at the same time I don't do tarot readings like that, so it's like, why am I keeping this? Why am I keeping this? Anyway, if you're drawn to this kind of imagery, definitely get it. For me, the images are interesting, but not the quality of the deck puts me off. It's more of a novelty than anything else, I guess. So yeah, this is my Netflix and chill, because what else can you do? The the box is awful, the bag is awful, costs an arm and a leg to get this deck into the UK. Definitely do not recommend. Yeah. Next one we have the booty call. I only read with it for specific questions, such as people moving, buying houses, inheritances, regarding property. This is my Revival Art Tarot. I didn't get it for this. It just like, as soon as I got it, I was drawn to it, went to a local event, started reading, like 4 people in a row, they all had housing issues, moving, buying, blah blah blah, and for all of them I was like drawn to use this deck. I was like, okay, this means something, this means that this deck should be used for that. So now I'm only using this deck for specific housing issues because it just works so well. People love it, they do like the imagery. I think it's a solid read. I tried to use it in other ways for other questions, it just didn't work. It's like, call you when I need you, like Batman, sort out the issue, boom, then go. Next prompt we have, we refuse to define the relationship. It's El Goliath and me. Oh my. Do I really want to open this box again? This is a very, I don't know. I think this deck is a very interesting read. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. But my favorite cards in this deck are the ones at the end, the extras, right? These ones here. The problem is the deck has like really big cards, really difficult to shuffle, sticky, and it's just like, oh my lord, I just want to read, I just want to do reading. This is one of my favorite cards, like the nature, the seed of life. Yeah, I don't know. These are the cards I use, as you can see, not very often. I don't know what my relationship with it is, because it does work for shadow work, but I feel like it's a very elusive deck. Really, that's the problem. It's a very elusive deck. I'm not saying that as a bad thing, I'm just saying maybe I just need to be in the right mindset, and sometimes we're not. And sometimes 50 years from now we mature and realize, actually this is what I should have done, this is what I should have studied. But until then, we have a relationship, we just don't know what to do with it, I guess. Last but not least, I'm divorcing you, that's a prompt. It's the Deviant Moon, which for some reason I cannot find. Probably it's again in the cellar, in my box, in my giveaway pile or something. The box is battered, bruised, blah blah blah. The Patrick Valenza big book is in there as well. Why am I divorcing the Deviant Moon? Because for the longest of time it was my, and I debated between the Deviant Moon and the Familiars, Tarot Familiars by I forgot her name. Yeah. So why am I divorcing this deck? Because I don't know, it just doesn't work for me anymore. I'm not into uncovering the grotesque. Just because some parts of me are not light and they're dark doesn't mean that they're grotesque and unsightly to look at. So I feel like I've outgrown this deck, and I know people still love Patrick Valenza's art. I do like it too, but just as art. I'm tired of figures that have like 3 members instead of 2, or fishtails instead of legs, or something. I don't know. It just doesn't work for me anymore. Okay, that's about it. I tried to be as brief as possible. I don't think I managed to do it, but yeah, this is my return to TarotTube. Thank you so much for hearing me ramble. I thank you so much for allowing me to go off script, and if you have any thoughts about the decks I brought to you today, or if you have different opinions, I would love to hear them. I'm always happy to be proven wrong, because I feel like there's always something to learn from that. If you like my content, you want to support me, go over to Instagram, Facebook. If you're local in the UK, you can follow me and see where I do my readings, because I do a lot of in-person events. You can subscribe to my channel, follow me on Instagram, Facebook, whatever. In the meantime, really lovely to see you here. Would love to see you again, and have a lovely, lovely, lovely day, and see you soon. Bye!